Hi there and welcome back to Japan, where we're doing a reaction and review to scenario art. That's it. Just reminding myself, reading the Japanese as quickly as I could there. Scenario art with Adahada Alien. Again. Let's see if I got the Japanese right. I'm pretty sure I got this one right. Anyway, so this is a song that I don't know the band, don't know anything about them. And if you know anything about this channel, you know that actually the way we do it now, the way we have to do it now, is that I've actually already just done the reaction. And if you want to watch that, simply open up another player by clicking the link in the description below and you'll be able to see it. I have to do that on a separate player now. So click that and it'll just open up another player, pause this video, watch my reaction, then come back here and resume with me. So if you've watched the reaction, if you know the song, or if you're ready for my review, here it comes. Are you ready? If not, check out the reaction. Okay, here's the review. So this song, as you have just seen in my reaction, if you just watched that, it really quite surprised me, actually. There was a lot of things I really liked about it. Now, it's very rare, as I always say, it's very rare to hear something which is 100% original, because there's so many bands for now so many years who've been doing so many different things that it's virtually impossible to write something which is totally original. And yet sometimes you hear something and you think, I can't immediately think of a frame of reference for this. And this was a great example of that, which is what I really loved about it. Now, it started off in a fairly simple element. It had a kind of a smooth jazz element in that, sort of modern jazz element in that you had your sort of four on the floor, kick your boom, 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 boom underneath, but everything over top was just kind of nice and smooth. And it started off sounding like it was just going to go in that sort of smooth, quite delicately played sort of direction. But then what really hit me was when it switched up for what was ostensibly the chorus. When it switched from the male singer to the female singer. Now, one of the best things about doing that technique, having the female singer singing the chorus, is, as I've often said, and you guys probably know this, a commonly used technique which is known is that if you're doing a part of the song which is, if you like, more energetic, the bigger part of the song, the more, the part of the song that you want to hook people's ears more, it usually means that everything kind of goes up in tone. Usually you get more of a step up. And this is often used in a lot of Japanese pop music, the idea that the chorus is a few notes above the rest of the song. Now, switching from a male to a female vocalist is a very simple and effective way of doing that, because obviously female voice is naturally higher. So it cuts through more. It's easier to have a standout female voice over the instruments not changing, because then suddenly the voice is elevated. And that was beautifully handled here. Really, I mean, obviously, when you've got a male and a female singer, then it's something where, you perhaps wouldn't find it surprising, wouldn't be surprised if I do this in other songs. And yet, it was just nice hearing it here, that it was perfectly apt to the song. It really worked. And it also meant that by suddenly elevating, having everything getting the higher pitch of the melody, it meant that then they could go for this more impactful, more stripped back chorus, which was basically, as I said in the reaction, the drum beat was almost like a jazz style in that it was very stoppy-starty. It wasn't even holding or maintaining a full rhythm. It was just landing on some of the key notes, having little fills in between, and it was more about the spaces in between. It was a very expressive beat. You could feel each hit of the beat felt like it was worked up to, it was engineered to really have its impact. So the chorus became very impactful because, like I say, rather than strumming away and loud, here's the chorus time, it was about, okay, we're going to focus on just making each beat count and hit and be impactful. And again, not even by doing it loud, just by really working up to each beat, like I said, little drum fills and everything like that. I thought that was a real masterful turn of how to do a very simple, effective, punchy chorus, which in fact is relying on some very clever use of expressive playing and expressive writing. It was really fantastic, and like I say, also switching to the female vocal helped, because if you had kept with the male vocal through that part, you'd have gone from something which was very thick and smooth to something that became very stoppy-starty, and it would have been hard to tell if that had been elevation in the tone of the music, or whether that had just been like, is this some sort of bridge, is this some sort of interlude in the song? But by skipping up to the, like I said, the female vocal, you can see they're really, that's how you can tell by the increased pitch of the melody that they're going for that chorus sort of impact, shall we say. So it was a really nicely engineered switch, that. Now the song went backwards and forwards then. It had another verse, another chorus. It was nicely engineered to move through that. And then the bridge went back to that sort of smooth tone, but then it became a lot more, a little bit more keyboard stuff, and everything sort of became like this sort of thick, creamy sort of wall of sound, and that's how it played out towards the end. And again, that was another thing that was really well managed. I loved the fact that it sort of built up, and you could tell from the chord pattern, and as the lines came, the lines from the chorus slowly started to come back in, you could tell that actually this is the way they were going to play it out. They were going to play it out on, instead of a stoppy-starty chorus, doing that sort of stoppy-starty chorus for the crescendo, they were going to play it out with the same chord pattern, but now doing it as a much bigger sort of thicker arrangement, and obviously feeling more high tempo because everything's now barreling along at the end. I think that the whole song was just really nicely engineered. It was full of ideas. It never got lazy. It was nicely played. I like the fact that the bass and the drums steered things. The guitar did some great stuff to hold it all together. The guitar was definitely the rock of this song. However, and I mean that not as in rock as in genre, I mean rock as in the solid sort of center point of the song. However, the bass was doing some walking around. I think both for the bass and the drums, again, this is something that I always say, it's not always the case, but very often it's the case. In the songs that are really best performed, it's a mixture somewhere between writing and musical talent. Obviously, I've always favoured the musical talent, as in ability to play, is never as important as being able to write the best song. However, with these sorts of bands, it's great when you see a band who can balance those two things. So you've got the like I say, you've got a bass line where could he have played a more complicated bass line? Yes. But he didn't need to. That was just about right. He showed just enough skill to know how to play something that moved well, and yet, just enough restraint to keep it in the right place. Same thing for the drum line. Do I think that she could do a more sort of bombastic drum solo type impact in the chorus if she wanted to? Yes. I do think that she could play something more complicated than that. In fact, I'd probably argue that given enough practice, I could probably play that drum line. However, it was the skill of knowing how to do that, knowing how to build up, have those right little build-ups in the right place, and doing it that way and not going over the top, as actually drummers often do. It was all that mix, that perfect hairline mix between skill and restraint. And, prioritizing the quality of the song, prioritizing the quality of the arrangement and the writing over just showing how good you are. Because I'm pretty sure this was a real good sign of a lot of class here, that these guys have got a lot of extra talent in the tank, both when it comes to writing and musicianship. So I'm definitely looking forward to hearing more of these guys. I've been given more links to listen to by these guys, so I'll be jumping into more of it. But as ever, whether you guys know these guys or not, whether you like this song or not, please get in the comments, tell me what you think. If you like this video, subscribe if you really like it and you want to hear us talk about more music on here. But this channel is very much about the conversation. I give my opinions as someone who's worked with music for my entire adult life. However, I really want to hear what you guys think, because objective and subjective, it's all important. Music is only as good as it is enjoyable to you. So like I say, get in there, tell me what you think, and if you want to join the conversation more, remember we've also got links to our Discord and our Reddit in the description below, as well as my Facebook and Twitter accounts for the channel, and our Patreon for our most wonderfully, thankfully great people who keep this channel alive. Thank you so much. I genuinely appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. And I just want to say, until I see you hopefully very soon on the next video, thank you for joining me all the way to the end of this one. And for now, ciao.